Hello everyone, it's Darkseeker here again, this time bringing you a Handlock video. Now, Thijs, who I rate as one of the best players in the world, this is his Handlock. We can call it the Thijs Lock. And I previously featured a Thijs Shaman deck on my stream, and it did very, very well. So this time we're going to be looking at Thijs' Handlock. Now, when you look at this Handlock deck, it does look very much like a standard Handlock deck. I mean, it doesn't really run any TGT cards. It's bog standard. You know, you've got your Twilight Drakes, you've got your Molten Giants, your Mountain Giants, your Sludge Belchers, Loatheb, Defender of Argus for taunts, double Sun Fury Protector for more taunts. You've got a Zombie Chow, though, for the early game. And double Mortal Coil. Okay, so all in all, it's pretty standard, I guess. I mean, Emperor Therosian, that's your GVG card in there. And I'm not really much of a Handlock player. I mean, I used to play with a Zoolock, but this is my first real serious go at playing Handlock. I'm more of a Hunter player. I enjoy Paladin from time to time. So yeah, this is my first real run with Handlock. So I'm going to see how this deck performs. Thijs does very well with Handlock, and that much we do see from tournaments. I'm not a pro player, I'm more of a casual player who likes to produce videos for YouTube and with commentary, hoping that I can help some players out there who are interested. I'm also more of an arena player, more than anything else. So arena tends to be my main focus, but from time to time I do like to experiment with constructed play or decks on constructed, and so yeah, we'll give this Handlock a go. So we're joining this game in progress against a rogue, and looking at the opening hand there, obviously you've got your Twilight Drake, you've got your Mountain Giants.
This guy's toast.
Those are the sort of things you want early as a Handlock. The rogue played a tempo SI agent there. So the rogue valuing all presence. So I just played the Twilight Drake there. But I used the coin. And there are some people who would say, well, actually, that was a mistake. Some players, I'm sure, would say you should have either used the Dark Bomb and played an Ancient Watcher. Sorry, because I couldn't add 3 mana, so just play the Dark Bomb and pass, and then play the Twilight Drake on the next turn. But I value getting a 4/8 out on the board. And now I have 4 mana. You see, now I can play the Ancient Watcher. And I mean, maybe that was a misplay. Maybe I should have Dark Bombed the agent. Yeah, maybe I should have Dark Bombed the agent there, but that's fine. I think this is me as a Handlock player being relatively inexperienced, and sort of thinking, well, you know, what play should I make? What play is the best? I mean, fan of knives. I should have expected that. He now gets an efficient trade. I mean, he doesn't even need to trade. He's got eviscerate. He's got eviscerate, which is pretty good for him. So he's maintaining the pressure. But I've got Sludge Belcher, which is on curve, and that contests his Shredder. But I think tapping here is correct because I've got the Dark Bomb. What I want to be careful of, though, is I don't want to go too far down in health, because rogues do tremendous amounts of burst, and I need to watch out for that. So several options here. But I think clearing the Drake is essential because of the spell power damage that it gives the rogue. And I'm setting up something here that's relatively strong, because next turn I can Sun Fury that those two ancient watches, and it's going to be difficult for the rogue to get through. But there's another Drake. So look at the rogue's hand. He's fishing for cards. Okay, he's fishing for cards. He's got more cards than me, which is fascinating because as a handlock player, you're usually the one that builds up that tremendous collection of cards. So okay. And he's just going to redagger. Okay, he's probably setting me up now for a big burst turn, so I can expect that over the next couple of turns. Probably the Tinker's Oil is probably what he's going to be doing. So I need to get the Drake off the board, or at least protect myself with Taunts. And that's the option I'm going to go for. I could have Hellfired there and then use Mortal Coil. But I want some board presence, and I'm deciding here between the Belcher and the Healbot, or even the ability to tap. I mean, I'm feeling relatively safe behind the Taunts. What I'm afraid of, though, is Blade Flurry. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to heal. A Blade Flurry would be very annoying, and I don't want to sacrifice my Sludge Belcher. So the Antique Heal Bot brings me back up to 26, so he can't kill me. I don't think there's any combination of cards in one turn that can kill me when I'm at 26 health, and especially with the Taunt Wall up. I think it's going to be very difficult. So I feel safe now. So maybe I've made a few misplays already in this game. Maybe I've done my ordering a bit wrong in terms of what I put on the board, in terms of when I play my my Dark Bombs to clear. Maybe I've messed up a little bit in this game, but I'm feeling quite safe. What scares me, though, is future turns and looking at that collection of cards in the rogue's hand. Now, rogues do specialise at doing, as I say, this insane burst damage over 1 or 2 turns, and they've got to time it just right. The trouble with my Taunt Wall is that he's got all of these cards that probably do damage, and he can't play them until he clears the wall. And that's what he's doing. He's clearing the wall of taunts. But he's going to have to sacrifice the Drake. So both of those Ancient Watches got value there. They absorb spells, they absorb Dominion. That's pretty good. So Mortal Coil is sensible. Yeah, it's pretty good. Well, it's not good. I mean, Zombie Chow, early game. It's better early game. As you head into the late game, it loses value. You don't want to be healing your opponent. So I guess we can just play the Mountain Giant. So an 8/8 is very threatening. If that stays alive over 2 or 3 turns, it will win the game. And I have a Sludge Belcher to protect it on the next turn. Okay, so that Earthen Ring on its own is not very annoying, but comboed with a Sap, okay, it's pretty threatening now. In the sense that I can't kill it with my 2/3. But look, there's the Emperor, and I've got an interesting hand. We're going to tap, get a card. Okay, so we have the power, apparently, and we're just going to put stuff on the board. So we put down the Zombie Chow. Now is a good time to play the Chow, I think, because he's at 28 health. So we can give him some health back. It's not an issue. I don't want to play it in the late game when it could allow him to survive with that extra health, and it would be very annoying. So
many
options. Let's see how we go here. What's he gonna do? He has a lot of mana, but he's only got 5 cards.
So many options.
And he's thinking his options through because he's looking at the Emperor, and as you can see, he's targeting the Emperor now. He has to, because it is very threatening. So Eviscerate, but he tanks 5 to the face, and now he gets the benefit from the Zombie Chow. So maybe I shouldn't have played the Zombie Chow. But then again, having said that, it tanked some damage. It did its job. The Sun Fury is still on the board, so maybe it's not a bad thing, you know, maybe it's not a bad thing. Because really, what's the difference between 28 health and 23 health? When you're playing 8 attack giants, what is the difference, really? It's not significant, in my opinion. Especially considering there are 3 other giants in my hand, plus Dr. Boom, and a concede. And a concede. Unbelievable. Yeah, there we go. So this is evidence that you can play Handlock badly, I guess. I think some of my plays weren't optimal, weren't great, and you can still win. Is this indicative of the power of Handlock? That even if you're an average or a not so great player,
Gul'dan versus
that you can win? Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, another rogue. Right.
Your soul shall be mine.
Another rogue. All right. So this opening hand, you could argue that you'd get rid of one of those. Actually, you know, if you've got the Twilight Drake, do you need the Mountain Giant? If you've got the Mountain Giant, do you want the Twilight Drake? I think having both is good. I like having a giant. I like the flexibility of having 2 cards that I can play on turn 4 because of all the tapping that I'm going to do. I mean, maybe I'm also hunting for that zombie chow and those dark bombs as well, because that allows me to clear his board on those early turns. And against a rogue, you don't want to leave minions up. I mean, that's a key thing, especially as you head into the mid game and the late game. But so maybe I was hunting for those dark bombs and the chow. So maybe I should have got rid of a Mountain Giant, a Twilight Drake. Maybe keeping both is sort of a conventional play.
This guy's toast.
But in this situation, I think being aggressive is a good thing. So, and by being aggressive, I'm talking it from a handlock standpoint. I mean clearing the opponent's board, making sure there's nothing on there. So when you play your big threats, your big drops, you're still good to go. Anywho, there's the Tempo SI7 agent. And the Twilight Drake, again, like the last game, this is like a mirror of the last game. And I coined out the Drake. Again, some people would disagree with that and say, no, you wait until turn 4. You get maximum value from the Drake at 9 health or whatever. But you want to get something on the board, okay? I think that's so critical. All right. So there we're going to use the Dark Bomb. It's 4 attack versus 8 health. I like my chances.
So many options.
Okay, so there's a Drake. And he's going to trade. Which is fair enough. Okay. A Morsel Coil is pretty interesting there. But I also have a Giant. Okay, Defender of Argus. Going to be really useful later on. So let's just drop the Giant there and see what happens. Do you know, before playing these games, I should have done some reading about Handlock, to be honest. Okay. So, value trading, it's good. And there's the Emperor. And the Emperor is a major win condition as a handlock, discounting all of those lovely cards there. And he has to deal with the Emperor. The question is, does he have enough to deal with both the Giant and the Emperor. Well, there's the deadly poison. I'm expecting a Blade Flurry now at some point. Maybe another deadly poison? Wow, super aggressive there from the rogue. And the chances are he's got a spell to kill me on the next turn. So I'm going to be trading on this board, but I need to heal, and thankfully we've got the antique heal bot. But again, with so many cards in hand, it is difficult to make choices here. I think the heal bot obviously is going to be a must. And due to the Emperor, we were able to get those discounts, which I think was pretty good. So, okay, let's play the heal bot. But if we play the heal bot, what do we do next? I mean, do we play the Defender of Argus just to create that taunt wall? I mean, a South Sea deckhand with Tinker's Oil and Charge could finish us off still, depending on what other spells he's got. This is really difficult decisions to make here. Not easy at all. And I'm going to value actually here not giving him a card. I think that's really important. And we're going to trade. And I'm not going to taunt up. I'm taking a risk. I'm gonna pretend that he can't kill me. it's I don't know. I mean, he's got 6 attack on that dagger. If he was to Blade Flurry, it's 6 damage. Can he find enough damage to then finish me off? Well, there's the Snowball. Okay, that's a TGT card. There's the Blade Flurry for 7. And I'm down to 6. So actually taunting up would have been a waste there because my taunts would have died, actually. So I think it was a good play not to taunt. There's the second heal bot. What are the chances there's like a, I don't know, an Eviscerate in that hand? Something that could just kill me with spell power as well. Kill me for 5 damage actually. And well, I'm at 5. So Eviscerate with the Snowball there would kill me because it's got 5 damage. So now we taunt up. But I'm at 5 health. And I didn't play the heal bot there because I wanted to get some good taunts going. And I think Dr. Boom on board, we've also got to win this game, and Dr. Boom represents 8 damage in this situation, which I think is really important. Perhaps anything else played would be too weak. Yeah. 8 damage from Boom. He couldn't kill Boom. And I'd actually be happy, maybe, if he sapped Boom, because I'd get the Boom bots back. So now we're going to heal. We're up to 13. And we're going to play Loatheb. And I'm going to trade. I don't want to leave a minion on the board. But by playing Loatheb there, we're blocking out, you know, his efficient use of spells. He plays his own Loatheb. And he's going to heal. He's worried now. He's staring down this damage on the board, and he knows there's a handlock. Well, you know, you've got to be careful. What I'm going to do here, though, is I'm going to clear the board. Because, again, as taking on a rogue player, you don't want to leave anything on the board. You know, I don't think I've got lethal here. Because of his Loatheb. Yeah, I wouldn't have had lethal. Unfortunately, so. But we've cleared the board, and we're in a really good position. We're at 13 health, and with Dr. Boom as a taunt, how is he going to get through this? Because next turn, if something survives, I've got double Hellfire, and I can kill him. So basically what I'm saying is, one of my minions has to survive. Okay, and that's the thought process going into that next turn. But you think of this sort of 2 turns before, and you think, right, okay, in 2 turns I can double Hellfire. What do I need to do to be able to make that happen? How low do I need to get him? What minions do I play now to get him low enough so that I can that I can double Hellfire in 2 turns time? It's thinking ahead. But that's it. There we go. I don't even need the double Hellfire, and that's it. That's another victory against a rogue. Okay, so again, maybe my plays aren't the most optimal, maybe my mulligans are not the best, but I'm sort of proving a theory here that as a handlock player who has no experience playing handlock, I'm not doing too badly. So, debating, do I keep the Sun Fury? I mean, I've got the Twilight, I'm going to keep it. Against a priest, I think, double Drake. A Taunted Drake is pretty powerful. At 4 health, he can't cast Shadow Word Death. He can't cast Shadow Word Pain on it, so not 4 health, 4 attack. What he can do, though, is he can use the Shrinkmeister Cabal combo, but he can't do that until, what, turn 8 or later, so... But this is a Dragon Priest, and we know it is because the Taunt has synergized with a dragon in his hand. So we're just going to tap, and we're going to be looking to play the Twilight Drake on turn 4, or even turn 3, just to get that early pressure out there. Because turn 3 Drake into a turn 4 Drake is pretty strong. Alternatively, the turn 3 Drake into a Giant is also strong. And I'm thinking that maybe a Giant is going to be the way to go on the next turn. But let's get a Drake out here for now. A 4-8 is very bad for me, actually, because unless you've got a Giant to contest it, 8 health is really difficult to beat, to knock down. So... so how many cards do I have in hand? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so I'm gonna go with the Drake. My hand, I hovered over the Giant for a minute there thinking, yeah, I could play the Giant. Oh, concede.
My apologies.
How interesting. He didn't know what I was. He saw I was a handlock, and he conceded. Wow. Huh. Interesting. Really interesting.
Gul'dan versus Geralt.
Oh, yeah. So we're going up against a warrior.
Victory or death.
This match scares me.
Your soul shall be mine.
It really scares me. I mean, it shouldn't do, because I've got... If it's a Patron Warrior, I've got double Hellfire to clear those patrons. If timed correctly, I could remove all of his threats with Hellfire and Shadow Flame, and essentially neuter the warrior to the point where there's nothing where he poses no threat. Neuter is a very strong word. I shouldn't use that, but this is a family-friendly stream. But if it's Control Warrior, that does scare me a little bit. Control Warrior, which will play Ysera, which will play Varian Rin, that does scare me. Brawl, for example, as well, that card scares me. And I know some Patron Warriors play Brawl as well now. It's been teched in more and more. So yeah, on this turn, you're a handlock player, and I'm actually quite scared because there isn't a Drake in my hand or a Mountain Giant. So I need to hunt for one. I need to search for one. And even if I had one in my hand, you're still tapping because obviously you're building up your card total. And that also makes the health total on the Drake increase. It makes the Mountain Giant cheaper to play and so on. So really nothing for me to do until turn 4. But at this rate, I don't have a Drake or a Giant. So what will I do on turn 4 if I don't find one? This is looking very awkward for me now. No choice but to tap. Okay, I'm going to play the Chow here. I have to. I need something on board. It'll absorb a hit from the weapon too, which is fine. But I don't have a Giant or a Twilight Drake, so what do I do here? So turn 4. As a handlock, by law, you're meant to have a Twilight Drake or a Mountain Giant in hand for turn 4. So what do I do? So this is uncharted territory. I think in all the previous games we had a... Oh, there it is, thank God. Twilight Drake, thank you for arriving. Dear. Okay, so Sun Fury Protector will potentially be good with that Drake very shortly. Turn 6 isn't too far away, so the Emperor is going to get tremendous value. But I'd like to have some more Giants in my hand to take advantage of the Emperor discount, especially if he can't clear the Emperor on that first turn. I'd like to keep getting the discounts. But Dr. Boom is also in my hand. So turn 6 Emperor into a turn 7 Boom is pretty strong. Now, there's a Giant. Thank you. Oh, it's interesting. What do I do here? So I play the Giant. I trade. He went face with his weapon. It means one thing. He has another weapon in hand. He wants to use it up. But look at that. 12 damage on board is really, really threatening there. Really threatening. He needs an execute perhaps. Okay, he's going face. Well, what kind of... Huh. Okay, fine. The Emperor. Makes sense. I'm not dead yet. But he will be very soon. 8 to the face, 4 to the face, 12 to the face. He's down to 21. Our health totals are more or less even. And he needs... Well, maybe he's fishing for combos here. Maybe he's fishing for that Patron combo. I mean, if he has his own Emperor... But then again, can I kill him next turn? I mean, I've got... What have I got? I've got 9, 17, Hellfire. Ooh... I can kill him. I can kill him. I've got Dark Bomb too and Hellfire discounted. I can win. Yeah. Wow. Beating a... What's he going to do? Oh, he's killing the Emperor. He's tanking the Emperor. Does he have an execute? See, there's the question. If he has an execute... Yes, he does. Okay. I couldn't... Right. Yeah. He was so close to winning that too. Alright. Do I still win? 4, 7... No. I don't. Okay, so now we need to go back to controlling the board now. Those patrons cannot be allowed to survive, and in some ways, Hellfire there is what favours you against the Patron Warrior. You see, unlike a mage who has Flame Strike, Flame Strike's turn 7. Quite often that may be too late, or not too late, but if you don't draw into it or if you're able to play it, it's very expensive. You can't do anything else on your turn. Where Hellfire is cheap, it's only 4 cost, so there are other things I can do on my turn, which makes it a really good board clear. Against patrons especially, because it's 3 damage versus 3 health. Okay, so Frothing Berserker, I think he's getting desperate now. How scared am I of the Berserker? I'm at 24 health. Okay, I'm at 24 health. I have the Owl, so I can silence something here. And the question is, what way around do I play this? Should I attack first and then silence? Yeah, that's the right play. I mean, I could Dark Bomb it, but I value my Dark Bomb as a finisher in this game, so I'm not threatened by a silenced Frothing Berserker at all. I think I'm okay. So, but here, as a handlock, so many choices in hand here. You know, do I play Dr. Boom? No, I feel safe enough to tap. I feel safe enough to tap. You know, maybe I should have gone with Dr. Boom. Maybe I should have gone with Dr. Boom, but no, it's okay. It's okay. It's fine. And maybe there were other optimal plays there involving the Dark Bomb. You know, because the Dark Bomb's at 1 cost as well. You know, maybe there were other things I could do. Okay, so there's his Emperor, but not getting him much value, unfortunately, because he only has 3 cards in hand. But he's going for board control. But unfortunately for him, how much damage do I have? I have lethal. Yeah. Defender of Argus, Dark Bomb is lethal. And that's why I wanted to say Dark Bomb there. It's a decent finisher. And that's precise lethal. And we win. Yeah, pretty good. So once again, was I making the optimal plays? Maybe not. But proving that with Handlock, you know, if you at least understand some of the basics behind the logic of how you play this deck, in terms of getting your giant or your drake out on turn 4, etc. If you understand that, everything else will sort of flow on from there. What makes it difficult is the decisions you have to make, especially in the late game, when you've got so many cards in your hand, and that's what's difficult. But even then, these cards that you play are so threatening that, you know, the giants especially, that sometimes it's just a case of thinking, well, I have giants in my hand, my health total's really low, I have taunts in my hand, let's taunt up. It becomes a matter of survival as a handlock when you have a low health total. And that's sort of the key. That's sort of the key. Survival in that late game. So that instinct of I must survive kicks in, and you do what you need to do to keep yourself alive. So in that situation, even if you're not a terribly skilled handlock player, that instinct to want to survive kicks in, and it's the same logic you apply to any class in Hearthstone, where if your health is low in the late game, I must survive, so I do what I need to do. So yeah, that sort of makes up for lack of experience in playing handlock. I hope that makes sense to everyone. I know I'm babbling on here, I tend to do that a lot, but yeah. So here we've got nothing to do but tap, because we've got a Twilight Drake for turn 4. And a giant, but once again I have the coins, so you know I may coin out the Drake.
My work is paramount. Leave me alone.
3/5 is quite annoying. This is a dragon mage. It's quite interesting. You see, coining out the Drake, it doesn't really do much against 3/5, because the Drake has 4 attack, but the Drake also has 8 health, which is pretty awesome. So, I mean, what I can do is I can Twilight Guardian. I was thinking I could silence the Blackwing Technician and trade with the Drake, but obviously now the taunt is a problem. So I'm going to tap. Okay, there's the Ancient Watcher. Okay. I think I need to silence the taunts. It's too annoying as a 6 health minion. And I'm going to go face. Let him make the trades if he's able to.
I'll show them.
Does he have a fireball? He doesn't. So he's going to go face too, I believe. Yeah. This is now a race. The mage is racing me. And I'm at 17. But you know what? Look at my hand. I've got so many cards to choose from here. I want to stop the damage to my face because, I mean, double fireball would, what, kill me?
I wonder.
Would it? Not quite. But he can't do that until turn 8. No, actually, it would kill me. Double fireball would kill me, but he can't do that till turn 8. So, right. He's fishing for cards. Okay, so double fireball is 12 damage. I'm safe-ish. Even on turn 8, I'm still safe because I'm at 17. And the belch did help. So, I'm okay, I think. Yeah, I'm okay. unless he goes face this turn with his dragon, put me down to 15.
I have no time for games.
And then, okay, I was thinking maybe he'd use a Frostbolt and then a double Fireball. Okay, so Sylvanas is very, very annoying. I cannot afford to give him a minion. I really can't, because I'm dangerously low on health here. I'm at 15. Yes, I do have a heal bot, but I need to think about other options. So before I think about my options, I'm going to clear Sylvanas. I'm going to put both minions in, because I don't want to give him a minion. And now I'm just going to taunt up.
My shield.
So what I was talking about earlier, that late game instinct. Well, we're not even in the late game, we're sort of mid game. But that instinct of needing to survive, your health total is low. What's the best way to survive? Run through your options. Taunt is pretty good, okay? Taunts don't protect me from spells, but they do protect me from his board. So that taunt just prevented 2 damage to my face. And preventing 2 damage to my face could be a game-winning play, because his hand is stacked, and there's probably spells in there that can kill my face. Okay, kill my face. That's an interesting phrase. So I need to prevent the damage to face as much as I can. I don't care about that. It's a 4/5. It trades in with my taunts. It's okay. It's fine. But you see what I can do here? I can giant and I can heal bot. That's pretty good. Now I'm out of spell range. Okay, I'm out of that double fireball frostbolt shenanigans that he can play, which is really good. So, and I've got a taunt wall. One of my taunts goes down, but he still has to kill the 5/6.
I've got the beast in my
Big Game Hunter, I'm okay with that. And there's the Emperor, I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with that, because he's got 4, 5, 6, 7 cards in hand. They're all discounted now. So some of those are burn spells, probably. And now I'm worried about what combinations of spells he can fit into 10 mana. It's quite scary. So 21 health may not be such a big deal after all. So I need to tap here, I think. I need to see what I can draw. It's turns. I've got 7 mana. I could play Dr. Boom. Alternatively, I could just load my board up with a giant and a chow. I think that play is fine, because I mean the giant has 8 health and 8 attack. The chow contests the 4/2, which is important. I mean, you could argue that Dr. Boom, the Boom bots, also contests his 4/2, and I have Mortal Coil too. But I think that play was fine. But he threw the 4/2 into the taunt. He's desperate to break the taunt. That Ancient Watcher has had so much value in this game so far. You know, it's protected my face. It's absorbing attacks, killing minions that attack into it, which is pretty good. Unfortunately, it's now at 1 health, which means it can be pinged. So I've got no way of healing it or restoring it. So I'm going to tap again. Sure, why not? 17 health though, need to be careful. We're going to Mortal Coil. That Drake shouldn't be allowed to survive. Ooh, Dark Bomb's pretty good. But let's boom here. Double Fireball doesn't kill me, even with the ping and then the Mad Scientist low face. It doesn't kill me. So he decided to trade the Scientist and ping a Boombot. That's interesting.
I bring life.
Oh wow, Alex Straza. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, so that hand is full of burn spells. I cannot take 8 damage to the face. I have to kill it. Question is, what secret is that? Is that Mirror Entity? Is it Ice Block? Is it Ice Barrier?
I've got the beast in
Let's
my
see what happens. Duplicate? Effigy. Huh. Oh dear. I have to trade Boom in. Oh god, that's one of the best effigies you can get. It stops 7 to his face. Okay, what do I do now? I have a giant in hand. I could play that. I have a sludge belcher. He may have flame strike. So a giant. What do I do? Do I heal? No, I play a giant. A giant will survive flame strike, and I pass. Okay. So if he has flame strike, it's fine. I mean, he could flame strike frostbolt. And let's not forget that he had the Emperor up, and he got discounts on cards, and that's pretty scary. So what kind of a mage is this? Is this a tempo mage with effigy? Is it a tempo mage? Is a tempo mage playing refreshment vendor and shredders? Okay, so didn't expect refreshment vendor there. Is this a grinder mage? A mage that just grinds you out and play taunts eventually? Grinds you out. Or could it even be an echo mage? That refreshment vendor sort of threw me for a loop a bit there. It's just, well, you know, the reason for playing the vendor is you value healing and you have a body on board. So if you're a mage that values healing, you're potentially a grinder mage, as in grind your opponent down slowly and heal at the right times and win the long game. Okay, well that's fine. Let's go face. The Belcher protects the giant, you know, so he can't trade the vendor into the giant fireball and then ping. Okay, there's the, sorry, he wouldn't need to ping, would he? It's 9 damage. But yeah, there's the flame strike. And now my giant is in jeopardy, unless I do this. Mortal Coil, Dark Bomb, strong combination there. And look, I can play another giant too. Double giants, wow. And I have Taunt for next turn to contest what comes down the board, but I have lethal anyway. There's the double Hellfire combo. Even if one giant dies, that combo is still going to be really valuable. Okay, how do I do this? How do I do this? I've got to kill the Belcher, so I think I trade the... Oh, I think there's different ways of doing this, potentially. I think I trade the 8/3 Giant into the Belcher first. And then I can double Hellfire. He's thinking he's safe. He's thinking, yeah, going to absorb the attacks from those Giants. Nope. And he's still thinking he's safe, because he's down to 1 health. Nope. There it is. Okay, so, ladies and gents, thanks very much for joining me. This was the Thijs Handlock, so a big thank you to Thijs for this deck. And it just goes to show that Handlock, even with an inexperienced player, you can still do pretty well with it, which is really a testament to the strength of this deck. Okay, but thanks very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the video. Do give this deck a try on Constructed. It is a lot of fun. And do check out my YouTube channel. There are other videos on there for Constructed, as well as Arena. Some really good 12 win runs on there. So thanks very much, and I'll see you all again very soon.